Let's just say that this Zerg vs. Protoss that I submitted to Hearthstone is one of the dirtiest games of Zerg vs. Protoss that I've ever played. So I posted this as a separate game as well to the channel. You may remember it. It's basically a game where I have the whole map. My opponent is just sitting back on like 4 bases. If I recall correctly, he was going Forge Fast Expend as well. He did absolutely nothing until he was maxed out on Skytles. I make a small error, and I basically end up losing the game right away. Now, I've been in that scenario many times ever since. I have already fixed the problem for the most part. Basically, what I've been doing, I've been playing like 50 Spore Crawlers in the game instead. So, you know, whenever I am realizing that I'm going up against someone who is, you know, turtling really hard, I've been just adding on like 50 Spore Crawlers off of like 100 drones, and then eventually they move out and they can't do anything. But this game, it's a bit of a dirty one. So I submitted it to Hearthstone because I'm excited to see how he's going to wiggle his way out of here. I think if you're a Zerg player, you can probably relate to this game quite well. Because literally, this Protoss player I'm going up against, he does nothing. He just sits there. He does nothing. All right, so shall we have a look? I don't know what to expect, but we're going to find out. So the title of the video is Reynor stepping in to save Lowko. Is it IMBA or do I suck?
Dear Hearthstone, after showcasing you the incredible strength of Hydra Corruptor, I've got another beautiful game for you. At the highest level, it's popular to play Hydra Lurker, Viper Infestor, Queen Spore, while doing counterattacks with Ultra Link Bane versus Skytles. But because I'm only able to average 350 to 400 APM in the late game, I can't really micro that army well enough. You're not tricking anyone here, Lowko. 400 APM? You? Instead, I've been playing Ultra Hydra, Microbial, Shroud / Fungal. And it's been working really well. In this game, I clearly should have switched to Lurkers instead of Ultras, but did he really win because he played better than me? Or is it IMBA?
Here we go, boys.
All right. A repeat offender here in Mr. Lowko himself. That's kind of interesting. Let's have a look to see exactly what's going on here in this game. As in the bottom right corner spawning as the blue Zerg, it's going to be Imposter, which I guess is Lowko's Smurf account. And in the top left spawning as the red Protoss, it is OO. Uh-oh.
If I recall correctly, this Protoss player even decided to open up like Forge Fast Expend. Like it's I don't know exactly if that's what it was, but it was a little bit shaky. Lowko, it's time to get chewed out again? Yeah.
So he says he's struggling with Skytles. He has a composition against it. So we already gotta, we gotta give some credit to Lowko, where credit is due, of course, because it seems like he managed to finally stick with the program. Not only did he start growing in size, but also he finally managed to actually keep with a unit comp, and maybe he can then improve on it.
So real quick, in case you watched or you didn't see the previous Is It IMBA or Do I Suck, one of the big errors I was running into was that I was unit switching a little bit too often. So I was switching unit composition constantly, and I've actually changed that. I think I'm doing a much better job in that regard right now. So I actually got some good progress off of the previous one.
Of course, the best way to always improve in StarCraft is rather than swapping your unit composition around 17 times a game because you don't think it's working, you just try with one unit composition and you can kind of adjust it if you don't think it's working. So he said, hey Kevin, here I played, what was it, Ultra Hydra Infestor? I think I should have added Lurker instead at the end. But can you have a look at it? Or was it imbalanced? And, these are fair questions, Lowko. We're just going to have a look at it. Is Skytles imbalanced? Now, a lot of people struggle with it. We had Reelgan earlier this year who struggled with it and complained a little bit. So he even made a video response to the IO. That's a first.
I actually got this unit composition, the Ultra Hydra Infestor style from Reelgan. Some people are saying it's the Lowko style. It's not. I did not come up with it at all. But apparently people are now saying that I came up with this. I did not. It's pretty good, though. Like, all jokes aside, if you want to play late-game Zerg armies really well, you do really need a lot of actions per minute. And, yeah, I genuinely feel like I'm not actually fast enough to play that late-game army. But
Lowko is quick on the responses there. So far...
I like it. So far, it's good.
Good job, Lowko. Your opening looks absolutely marvelous. I am a proud Protoss player. I'm a proud content from one Dutch content creator to the other. I say, good job, Lowko. You're fantastic.
Okay.
So we have the first Overlord going in and sees, hey, cannon going up. Cybercore that is about 3 minutes too late. I wonder what this could be. Now Lowko, the smart man that he is, rather than checking the second pylon, he decides to just go back. So if you see a Cybercore this late, probably the tech is going to go down the moment the Cybercore finishes. And at that point, there can't be a Stalker out yet because you see the Cybercore finish. Now, this is a tip for people who play against people that play bad build orders. Like this, what OO is doing here is a bad build order. But that means you should be abusing that. This Overlord should be scouting that Stargate for free because the Stalker couldn't have been out yet. So you just go to wherever the second pylon is. You have plenty of time to look for it. And then you can escape to the back of the base. Just a little bit of advice. Not going to be the biggest of deals here. I mean...
yeah, no, actually, that's a good point. I didn't really consider that. I tend to autopilot in these kind of scenarios. But that's actually a good point. To be fair, though, I have played... hundreds of Zerg versus Protoss games in the last month, and I think it's safe to say 95% of them right now. I think I've been adept pushed once, but it's pretty much all Stargate into Void Ray. But you know, yeah, it's it's a good bit of advice.
If at the level that Lowko is at, which is I think about 5.2, 5.3k MMR, maybe a little higher even, 5.4, I'm not sure. That level, the moment you see a forge in the wall and you see someone build a straight cannon, you know it's going to be Airtos. And Lowko probably knows it's going to be Airtos at point already as well. We see the TOS open up with a straight Void Ray. And I mean, the Void Ray is just going to get rallied to the Overlord. So Lowko is going to get that information eventually. But obviously, you rather have it sooner rather than later. I like that he's patrolling. He had a fast speed, by the way. Holy crap, 333, his speed finished. He must have pulled in gas. He really cares about getting that speed fast. What you usually do is you rally drones into gas, and
I did pull gas.
Your speed like 345, 350. You're gonna be pretty okay with that most of the time. But Lowko, no. He's a fast man. He wants to finish things quick, my friends. He's bang in and out. He didn't even notice he was there. Lowko wisely pulls back his Overlord.
I played a clean game, dude. All jokes aside,
you know
I think this is actually one of the cleanest games I've played. Even though the late game, it ends up being a loss, which is why I submitted it. But this is a clean game. As far as I recall, it's one of the cleaner games I've played.
There's a Void Ray here. He's probably going to be going for... double Evo chamber. Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting.
So the reason why we're going double Evo, so that's not the standard right now at the pro level, is because I do want to go that Hydra Lurker, that Hydra Ultra Infestor style. And we want to start upgrading armor early.
So... usually you don't really see double Evo chamber because a single Void Ray isn't necessarily an indicator of like, hey, I'm going Sky Toss. It could also mean, hey, I'm following this up with a Gleifal in, and then double Evo chamber is kind of useless. You want a Roach Warren against that.
But nobody does that on the ladder currently, though. Not at least at my level. I know it's a good build, but truth be told, when I see one Void Ray, it's like when there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? I have not seen anyone go for Void Rays into Adepts other than in pro games, in any of my games. When there's one Void Ray, there's about a dozen.
So
but
you kind of want to get...
yeah, he's true. He's
safety
right.
Roach Warren whenever... every single game actually has a Zerg, just in case of like some delayed Glaive Adept timing.
That's what I do, though.
Lowko is going to get that Roach Warren, albeit a little bit late.
430? Nah, 430 is fine.
This was very focused on getting this extractor. I'm not sure what this extractor did wrong to him, but Lowko is going to be like, oh, that's awful. You're going to take that out. I'm just going to take it over here, I guess. And recall, man. No half measures in this.
This guy played like
Lowko's
such a donkey.
Going to get a scout, and I love this. He managed to hide this Overlord kind of in plain sight. And he's going to see, hey,
I did.
Storm,
this is a good game.
Single Void Ray so far.
Maybe
Oracle yet? No,
maybe my Roach
Oracle's
Warren is a
over
couple
here
seconds
at the
late.
Natural. So he sees Quick Storm, and Lowko's response is going to be, hey, you know what? I see Quick Storm. Sure, there's a Void Ray, but I'm just going to be going into range upgrades and probably go into Roaches and a couple of Hydras from there on out. Maybe keep a couple of Queens. Look at a creep spread, by the way. Man, Lowko is actually improving. This is not looking too bad. Now, I must say this is not looking too bad, but our new reporter is ready with a little bit of the early game review. What is your name again? Okwol? What do you think so far?
I think this guy is doing great, whoever he is. And I believe if he loses, it's probably because of imbalance. Back to you, Kevin.
I agree. That sounds like a smart man.
Very, very interesting. I feel like I've seen that guy somewhere before, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But
It's not an
if he
imposter,
says
chat.
It looks fine and it looks good, then we just gotta trust him, right? These new young reporters are lots of enthusiasm in them. And continue with the game. 67 workers.
It was
here for
Aqua.
our main man, a Loco.
He's a great reporter.
So he's looking healthy now. You could say perhaps a fort base would not be a luxury, or it would actually be kind of a necessity at this point. You still want to know for sure, hey, this is not going to be an actual Skytos follow-up, right? Because if you're just going to be focusing
There's the overseer.
solely on Roaches, and it is a Skytos follow-up, you could be in a little bit of trouble. So even though at this point it's all looking great for Loco, I'd love to see, yes, this follow-up scout. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely a big fan of that. I think that's good. Follow-up scouts are very, very important. He also keeps scouting with this Ling. His creep threat is looking solid. His upgrades are going fast. Man, Loco is on point. If we compare this to old Loco, man, this guy's improved a lot. Throwing down a Hydra then as well. What is it? Oh,
See, I don't want to like get my hopes up too much. Because I remember last time what was it again? An amateur golfer from Finland or something. He told me I sucked.
sends back the overseer.
Wait, where'd it go?
Loco. I was just praising you so much.
Wait, hold up. Where did that overseer go? Did that whole army hit back?
Loco. He's going to put it with his main. Are you joking? We need to know if there's air units. There is now a second Void Ray. Loco's going to go for a pure Roach Rush against someone that's making more Void Rays. This is a little bit how the US...
So the reason... before we get the beautiful analogy done, I think the reason why I did this, I should have definitely continued scouting there. I probably all army hotkeyed it back. But the idea was that I only saw one Void Ray up to this point. So I scouted that my opponent was going to go for a quick a quick Twilight Council and then into like a High Templar follow-up. So I'm like, okay, I can hit an attack right here before he can get Storm done.
US gets their intel. You know, they kind of get close to the country they want.
Wait, hold up. There's an America analogy?
How the US gets their intel. You know, they kind of get close to the country they want to invade. And they're like, Vietnam looks doable with what we currently have. Let's go in. Let's see how it will go for Loco. Loco, of course, man of big preparation. Last thing he saw was a Templar Archives, and that was only 4 minutes ago. So that's probably still pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Walks face first into a stasis. A couple of cannons, sees a Templar. Let's see if he tanks the storm with his face as well. Yeah, sure. It's not too much you can do there. I mean,
no, I was going to say, like, what can I do there?
The Void Rays show up. He's like, wait a second. It's kind of annoying. There's 2 Void Rays and the Oracle there. I guess I kind of do need units that shoot up, so...
I'm still 70 supply up, by the way.
What
okay, well,
Loco
not
tried
quite,
to
but...
do here is he just tries to poke with the Roaches to see exactly what's going on. But poking with the Roaches into a couple of Void Rays is like stabbing yourself in the stomach with a knife to check if the knife is sharp. Like, sure, you're going to find out if the knife is sharp, but surely there has to be a better way than this. It's Overseer stays alive. I'm kind of happy about it. He's going to go again. This time there's a couple of Hydras. This is a good addition. He has good upgrades. His supply is good. And his creep spread is fantastic.
Look at the creep spread, boys. Like, not to, like, flex too much, okay? I've made some mistakes here, but...
Zoom in on this. Like, holy crap, Loco.
I've been zooming in, yeah.
I'm not quite sure what he's been taking. I do know that he's from the Netherlands, so you never know what these guys put in their coffee in the morning. Like, he's on fire, man. There's creep everywhere. It's like 7, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of creep, 5 creep lanes, 5 bases already. Sure, he's a little bit supply block. Sure that the max isn't as quick as perhaps Cyril would have done it, but, you know, this isn't bad. This is looking pretty good. He's moving back, moving forward, sniping Templar left, right, and center. Man, he's absolutely destroying his opponent here.
That's what I thought.
This is almost textbook. I love this. Loco. Now, that's the good news, of course, for us. The bad news is that Loco somehow manages to still find a way to eventually lose this game. Which, looking at the current situation, is almost more impressive than sad. Almost. It is probably still going to be more sad than impressive in the end. 10 more Hydras on the way. Whoa. 10 Hydras, 6, 17, 18 Hydras. All right, Lowko. Relax there, buddy. Calm down. What do we have? I think we already have... Yeah, I saw Pathogen Gland. So Infestor is the next move. He did talk about Hydra Infestor, right? We did hear him speak about Hydra Infestor Ultra. I'm not sure what the Ultras are for, but you love to see
Okay, so the idea is, since usually Protoss late game is based around carriers together with High Templar, and then maybe a mothership and like maybe some leftover zealots, right? You get the Ultralists in to kill all of the ground units, including the High Templar, and at that point, the Hydralisk absolutely destroy all of the actual like late game Protoss area units. The nice thing about the Infestors is that unlike, for example, Vipers, they actually have 2 useful spells in this particular case, right? So ultimately, you want to have, both Infestors and Vipers, but it's really freaking hard to actually control that kind of unit composition properly. So both Fungal Growth and actually Microbial Shroud have been working really well. Oh.
No, piss off, Reynor. It's not your turn yet. You gotta wait your turn, man. Just sit back and relax, okay?
All right, good. Get him out of here.
Right, where were we?
Was that phone upside
Bunch
down?
of Hydras.
Pretty sure it was upside down.
He's getting a 6th base. Remember, Lowko. You beast. You macro monster. Putting the queens. We're going all out here,
I'm going,
Lowko.
dude.
I am loving it.
I'm going.
I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Carapace upgrades. No extra range. That's fine. Ultra. Cavern.
Here's +3/+3, dude.
The final march.
How can I lose this?
This is like when the trees start hitting the tower in Isengard, man. This is about as epic, except instead of trees, it's the queens. And instead of Isengard, it's a Protoss base. Instead of cool guys in Lord of the Rings, it's Lowko. But I think it's pretty close analogy-wise.
Yeah.
Especially the Stasis Wars going down. Your Microman Lowko is on fire. Holy crap. I know he's big on coffee, but this can't be just the coffee. Look at that, man. It's unbelievable. He's taking out everything. He's up 60 supply. Sure, the Queens was a bit of a wild move.
Never math and a video at the same time, guys. I know Hearthstone is still relatively new to the YouTube game. Never math in a video at the same time. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So just to clarify, from this position, right, I killed the Protoss' 4th. I managed to lose this game.
7 minutes in.
I've got, look at the minimap. Are you seeing the creep spread? Are you seeing the upgrades? Are you seeing, how much I've got?
Takes down the 4th base. Perhaps we could get some target fire on the Templar, but I don't even mind all of this. I don't mind any of this at all, Lowko. You're playing a fantastic... putting him back on 3. He's on 6. We can just go back. Sure, we can chase onto the ramp, but is that really what we want to do?
I don't think I do.
Quite know
how many
storms there is. Okay, back up, Lowko. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, if we evaluate this position, we're Lowko in this case, right? So,
what did I do? I pinged. I must have pinged on accident. I don't know why.
I'm not sure what he wants. A little bit too much coffee this morning, Lowko. Evaluate this situation, right? So Lowko has seen, I think, 2 Immortals already.
Yeah. Here it comes. I decide to go Ultras when my opponent actually has been producing Immortals. So that's why I said, right, I should really go Lurkers here instead.
Seen 2 Immortals, 8 Templar, 8 or 9 Templar, and 5 to 6 carriers, okay? And a single Archon. This army is largely designed to kill ground. This is not an army that attacks well into the air. You could say, well,
I think he does. You could even go Corruptors against this.
There, and there's a single Archon. If we have a solid 15, 20 Corruptors here, that's going to be very, very rough. Or even if you start playing with Vipers and pulling them into your Hydras, that probably would be pretty sick as well. The one thing I wouldn't recommend against a guy who's making an anti-ground army is to get Ultras. because there's going to be immortals in it. Now,
Yep.
Lowko only saw a single or maybe 2 immortals, so he can be completely aware of it. But you got to be very careful with these things. I always say you
Yeah.
want to stick with the composition, you want to have a plan, but you, through the experience, getting better in your plan, you need to be able to be kind of flexible with your plan. You got to make small reactions. Now, this doesn't mean that from mass Hydra, all of a sudden you start sacrificing all your Hydras just to rebuild 35 Corruptors. No, you kind of want to use the units you currently have and slowly try to trade them out for an army that is more adept at fighting your opponent's army, basically. That's kind of what you're aiming for when you're into in a late game situation like this. I like the Infestor edition. It's Microbial Shroud. What's it called? The Entangle? Holy
What?
crap. Neural Parasite.
Oh.
This is what happens.
Entangle. I was gonna say, what game are we playing right now? Okay, Neural Parasite. Sure.
This game for 10 years, 12 hours a day. I can't even remember the name of Neural Parasite. The amount of units I lost to that spell is insane.
Isn't that a Warcraft 3 ability? I'm not sure. It's a Disney movie,
The
Lowko.
Hydras.
Okay.
And Lowko isn't doing that. Lowko's doing this solid. He's doing, okay, I got my Hydras.
I got
added a
creep
couple-
spread on his freaking third base and fourth.
couple of ultras. Now, what you want to be doing is you probably want to be setting up a good fight, or be just a little bit patient. Look at what Lowko currently has. Okay, he has everything. The entire map is his. He is on 6 bases. 1, 2, 6. Okay,
1, 2, 6.
Creep
Right.
everywhere. He could take this base. He's gonna out-expand his opponent like a madman. He has more money in the bank, and he's not been fighting poorly, but he's gonna be able to take like 2 bases of his opponent, 3 bases of his opponent. It's going to be legit 10 base against 4. Okay. Now, Lowko's micro isn't known to be the best. This game it hasn't been bad, but
True.
in general isn't known to be the best. But if you can't win with 10 bases against 4, perhaps it's just time to switch to a different game. Like, just
No. Perhaps it's just time to switch to Protoss. Is
go
okay?
play
Wait,
some-
wait, no.
some
Sorry,
casual
hold up, right now.
Tetris or something like that. You know, just start beating the neighborhood kids in competitive Pac-Man. But actually, those games are pretty difficult. An easier game, the game with the raccoon where you have to build stuff. That's more for you. I can't remember the name. It's the Scummy Raccoon. You guys know what I'm talking about.
What?
Attacking into this,
What? I don't know.
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, Lowko. So we see 2 ultras are almost continuously fighting. They all die because there's like 17 immortals. The carriers don't actually have that much DPS. They're not the main DPS in the army. That's going to be the Storm and the immortals. So Lowko goes in. He's like, ooh,
I should have.
lost all my
Oh,
ultras.
Animal Crossing. Oh, Animal Crossing. Is that what he's talking about? Maybe. Anyways, yeah, Ultras here. I should not have done that.
Killed like 3 zealots.
6 Ultras.
6 new ultras. All right. Interesting call here, Lowko.
But like, seriously though, are you guys seeing this freaking game? This Protoss player hasn't even seen my side of the map at all. He's done nothing. Ugh.
Interesting call.
He doesn't even have upgrades. I'm at 3-3. This guy is just going +2.
Indeed. I'm not quite sure if this is how it works. This is one of those times where you kind of want to switch something up.
So wait, I needed to stick to the plan, but not stick to the plan, huh? I'm getting some conflicted information here. The first, is it IMBA doing suck compared to the second one? Yeah, what I should have done as soon as I saw that he was making Immortals was not go Ultras. I should have just gone either Corruptors or Lurkers or a ton of Spores.
And
Or 2 of those 3.
if you want to rebuild ultras and then wait for your opponent to move out and then fight into him, I can kind of see it more. But you just saw he had like 5-6 immortals. He's on 4 bases. Your opponent isn't going to be the one that's going to be quick at tech switching. He won't really have that much money for that. He won't have the gas. This is pretty much the army. This dude is going to be stuck. He isn't even max yet. Like, this is not looking tight. What you want to be doing here as Lowko, probably want to be getting either into some Corruptors. I don't even mind the Lurker call, but at least try to add a couple of Vipers. So you can try and take either Archons, Immortals, or even some carriers into your units. And with Vipers, in theory, you have infinite time, especially if you have your opponent contained on 4 bases.
He is
and
very
you have
right.
access to a potential 10. Vipers can't really die against feedback, so you can heal them. Sure, you're going to lose time, which is also a resource, but Lowko really has plenty of time on his hands. The longer the game goes, the better it's going to go for him. I like this. Quick rotation to the other side. It's kind of smart. I feel like he's also not quite understanding how Microbial Shroud works. So Microbial Shroud, for the people who don't know, it reduces the damage by about 50% from air attacks.
Yeah.
Now,
So that's why I'm throwing it on the Ultras, because that's where the interceptors are going.
contrary to popular belief, or at least contrary to Lowko's belief, Immortals are not flying units.
Oh, come on. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. I've been throwing them on my freaking Ultras whenever the interceptors are there.
I have made the suggestion multiple times on the Blizzard forums, but so far no reply
Fake
from
news.
anyone at Blizzard.
Stop the
This
count.
means that Microbial Shroud does absolutely nothing. As Ultras are mainly going to be attacked by the Immortals and get their main DPS from the Immortals, perhaps don't cast it on the Ultras and just use your Infestors for...
Look, that Microbial Shroud was still there, guys. The other ones were pretty good.
For Neural.
Okay.
This is like...
Harstem is reaching, guys. He's reaching. That's good. That's good. That means that there's not that many other things to make fun of. Like, if we're gonna be making fun of my Microbial Shroud positioning, that means I'm playing a pretty f***ing good game, right?
to a man with a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. And for Lowko with Microbial Shroud,
What is that picture?
every unit looks like an air unit.
Where did that come from?
We can count this as a 7 out of 10 joke. It wasn't my best. Not my best work.
What a great
Yeah,
picture.
You probably just want to be working on your neurals. There's really not that much air damage, especially because this guy is somehow on +1 attack while you have +3 carry. Like, I don't think the carriers are going to be the real issue. And this is really the painful thing in this game for me, is that this isn't really Airtos. Lowko isn't dying to carriers. Not really. He's losing to a ground army. And ground armies we know how to deal with. We can build lurkers. We could play Broodlord Corruptor against this. But perhaps we shouldn't be playing Microbial Shroud against a ground army, Lowko.
Yeah. The Ultras are gone now. They were there previously, I
I
swear.
am not sure what this Microbial Shroud is.
They were just there.
God, I'd love to hear what this was for. This is what... sometimes you see Tosses storm their own units. This is like Lowko thinking it's a fungal. It's like, ooh, look at this big orange fungal. There's hit a couple of good fungals by there. It's not a bad fight. It's not a bad fight. Some debatable decisions, but not a bad fight. I can kind of dig
Okay,
it.
now here's the full meme, right? So the question is, in a game of StarCraft, right? If you lose, it's because your opponent played better. Now, this guy has done absolutely nothing this whole game long, right? I have had the entire map under my control. I've been trying my best to, like, beat him before he lays eggs, because once they max out, it's real scary. Here's what's gonna happen.
a lot of storm here. We have a lot more Hydras on the way. Because 36 Hydras wasn't enough yet for Lowko. He's like, I see there's about 35 storms left. Is there any way I could play into my opponent's hand more? Yes, he tells himself as he presses down the Hydra key for the next 5 minutes. Loses the hatchery. Literally just gets stormed. Please note that these carriers aren't actually doing that much. These carriers are not the ones dealing the main damage. Do not forget that. This is not a loss against Airtos. This is a game against ground. With 6 supporting carriers, 7...
But that's like 40 supply. That's like...
supporting carriers.
Yeah, true.
That wasn't really the issue. Now, Lowko kind of has been building up this entire bank all game long. So for the past 8 minutes, he's been building this bank. Now that he needs to spend it, he's lacking some larva because he's about to lose.
No, I already
everything.
spent it, bro. I've already spent
Maybe
it.
some static defense would have been wise too.
Yeah.
If you ever lose a fight with your invincible composition, that perhaps you would be able to delay your opponent a little bit. And we just see him die to store.
You guys see why I got really kind of triggered from playing this game? This guy opened like with a variation of a Forge Fast Expend, never really upgraded his units, never saw my side of the map, has more Templar than he absolutely needs. He did like so little this whole game long, and I feel like I am playing a freaking like golden game. Not perfect, right? Not perfect, don't get me wrong. There were definitely moments where I could have improved, but my god, are these games frustrating. Because it feels like what the opponent is doing is just literally nothing. He's just like sitting there doing absolutely nothing. He's like, oh, there's Ultras. I guess I start making Immortals now. And all of a sudden he's maxed out. And he just marches across the map. I get salty again looking at this game, bro.
This guy's just bummer. What is actually? Oh, Lowko. Oh, Lowko.
So in this kind of situation, I ask myself, right, at the end of this game, like, did my opponent play better than me? Remember, it was 6 base versus 3. He was like 70 supply behind me, and then 5 minutes later, he wins. I paused the game, or this video rather, at the perfect moment, right? This is the face of a Protoss player. Seeing that really dirty game and still seeing Protoss players win. Only a Protoss player can make a face like this. This is the face of a man with an orange turtleneck being really excited about late game Protoss winning once again.
Oh, Lowko. Oh, Lowko. Lowko.
Yes.
We could talk for a very long time here, Lowko. About how, sure, you had good creep spread. And yes, you took many bases. And sure, the opponent perhaps didn't play as beautiful as you did, but...
He played like a donkey. What do you mean?
Didn't walk into the same choke 3 times. With Ultras. Your opponent also didn't try to counter Immortals with Ultras. So that can only lead me to one conclusion, Lowko. So basically, Lowko, what I'm trying to tell you is that...
Skytles and Protoss late game is IMBA?
What is this? Let me answer this. Hello? Who's this?
Hello? What's up, idiot?
Reynor?
Yeah, it's me. What the hell was this?
Well, I mean, it's just a replay with Lowko. I mean, the late game doesn't look that bad. I mean, sure, Lowko played well, but the Toss also did some nice moves. The late game isn't that favored for Toss, right?
What do you mean? That was super one-sided. Lowko did everything he could. He was clean, 100%. I couldn't do any better. Like, this was great. Toss late game is absolutely nuts.
I was just about to tell Lowko that he sucked. Like, what's wrong with you? This is my show. Piss off.
Just leave, man. What the hell? What do you mean he sucks? Just leave. This is my show now.
I'm supposed to go?
Yeah, just leave. What the hell? I told you, it's my show. Leave. Just leave, man. Leave. What's up, guys? Like, I'm here to tell you, Lowko, that was completely imbalanced. I get you 100%. Like,
Thank you.
I couldn't see that. Like, my eyes are bleeding. Like, you did everything you could. Good job, Lowko. Protoss is just broken.
Thank you.
Hello? You here, Kevin? He actually left, guys. So yeah, I was telling you, like, yeah, he did everything he could, honestly. Like, I feel him 100%. Like, since the late game buffs and everything and the Zerg nerfs, this is completely one-sided. Like, Lowko, you're a beast. Don't worry about the comments, man.
Thank you.
You got it. Hello,
Thank you,
guys.
Reynor.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and yeah, just whine a bit more so maybe we get the one guy at Blizzard to buff us a bit. Yeah, it's a bit sad, honestly. See you guys. Subscribe.
He's not wrong, though. You know he's not wrong, guys. I think that this game is the perfect embodiment, okay, of what it feels like to play Zerg right now. Now, truth be told, Reynor is part of the reason why Zerk got nerfed, right? Let's not, like, you know, if he wouldn't have been winning so much... I remember last time around, actually. Remember this part?
Lowko, I've come to conclusion that you suck.
We've made progress, guys. We went from Reynor telling me that I sucked to Reynor telling me that I played a flawless game, which I clearly did. Seriously, no mistakes were made. No, all jokes aside, the answer is obvious, right? I shouldn't have gone Ultras this game. Literally anything but Ultra would have been a good idea. I think Hearthstone also makes a very good point that I tend to look at an army like this. When there's like big flying capital ships and there's more than 2 of them, I immediately assume that it's Skytles. But Hearthstone makes a very good point in saying, like, yeah, this is actually like not Skytles, it's a ground army supported by a bunch of air units, right? Like 6 carriers are not that scary. That's a big mistake for me, which I should definitely, like, you know, improve on. Yeah, plus, one thing that I also should not forget about is that I need to use Ensnare a lot more. Wait, was it Entangle, Ensnare, Fungal Growth?